welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm talking about the top 10 Game of Thrones theories, something literally everyone around me is excited about, including me. I love it when a show brings people together. There are even Game of Thrones viewing parties here in Toronto. The community has really embraced it. Something else that brings the community together is our video sponsor, Buns. Now, Buns is a trading app that you may have heard me talking about before. I use Buns to trade here in Toronto, but you can download it anywhere and trade within your own community. If there's no one trading with you where you are yet, then you can be a leader and set yourself up trading in your area. You can then encourage people to join and you can keep on swapping. You never know what people will want to swap. One person's junk is another person's treasure. Buns also has a cryptocurrency attached to it, the BTZ. You get BTZ, so money, when you sign up and can earn more by taking daily surveys and watching ads. There are loads of places that accept BTZ in my area. I spend mine on drinks with friends and on groceries. Now, if nowhere takes BTZ in your area, don't worry. Buns is building very quickly, and sooner rather than later they want to work with local businesses across the world. Download Buns using me as your referral at Rebecca Felgate, no spaces. We have a link in the description box. Download now and start trading. You never know, you might meet some people you can watch Game of Thrones with, or not. Whatever you want. Don't forget to add me at Rebecca Felgate as your referral. Alright, so back to the video. If you like videos like this, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and also do let us know your Game of Thrones theories. I can't wait to read them. I am so excited. Alright, coming in at number 10, we have the Sea Dragon. Ooh, I love this theory. So, we know that here be dragons. Before Daenerys' dragons were the big strong beasts that they are today, we were introduced into how big a dragon could grow when we saw their skulls in a cellar of the Red Keep. It seems when Targaryens were on the throne, the skulls and bones were kept in the throne room. Well, King's Landing isn't the only place with dragon bones. It seems that the throne of the Iron Islands has two large beams behind it. These are said to be from bones from the sea dragon Naga. Naga is an iron-born legend. The old Grey King was said to have a crown made from dragon teeth, so sea dragons with bones still present. It is said that the storm god drowned her fire, killing the sea dragon. But what if she has eggs that could also hatch too? What if there is another dragon waiting to rise? Sea dragon, sea dragon, sea dragon, yes! Coming into number 9, we have the mystery black stones and the Iron Islanders. Have you ever noticed that there is a lot of black stones around? Well, there are several structures throughout the Seven Kingdoms and the known world that are made of a strange, oily, greasy black stone. This includes the Sea Stone Chair of the Iron Islands, Yeen, an ancient ruined city made of black stones where no plant life has ever been able to creep in, and there is said to be another wall in the Bone Mountains, a curtain wall made of black stone. I'm sorry, another wall made of black stone. I don't even want to ask what that one's keeping out. Now, the TV show hasn't really gone into this too much, but the books absolutely do. Now, the books also suggest that the Iron Islanders don't come from the first men, but instead come from fish or merlings. Will the Ironborn have a special defense against the White Walkers? Coming into number 8, we have the CRYPT. It seems that the White Walkers are going to arrive at Winterfell in episode 3, the longest episode of the season. Well, there is quite an intense and, as it happens, really horrifying theory out there that the dead of Winterfell will rise. Let me take you back a few months to when the season 8 trailer was released. There was a lot of crypt action, right? Then we see Arya running away from something in the family crypt, which could very well confirm this theory. As we know, the remains of prominent Starks and families of Winterfell are housed in the crypt. Now, this includes the decapitated remains of Eddard Stark, the returned body of Catelyn Stark and Robb Stark and his wife Talissa. Rickon is also there after his untimely death in season 6. There are also characters that we haven't met entombed there. Jon's real mother Lyanna Stark, Brandon the Burner, Theon the Hungry Wolf, and more. Throughout the books, all of the Stark children aside from Sansa dream of the crypts. Jon has terrible dreams of the crypts, and Bran, as the three-eyed raven, even swoops through them. Why? Now, some think that this is foreshadowing that the dead Starks will rise as White Walkers. The book even has Catelyn coming back from the dead, which has never happened in the TV show, but perhaps it will now. If the dead Starks do rise, will they kill their children? Okay, so away from the magical and mystical for a moment, at number 7 we have classic kitchen sink drama. Sansa is pregnant with Ramsay Bolton's baby. Sansa was raped by Ramsay Bolton in season 6 on their wedding night. Now we aren't totally sure of the timeline anymore. How much time has passed since then? We don't know, things have moved pretty quickly. It does seem like if she had been impregnated by the castrating demon lord of stolen Winterfell, then she would have been showing by season 7. Although with winters that last decades, who really knows how time works in the world of the Seven Kingdoms? Sansa says to Littlefinger after her wedding night, "I can still feel it. I don't mean in my tender heart it still pains me so. I can still feel what he did in my body standing right here now." Now Cersei's hair is still very short, and that was shaved 2 seasons ago now too, so maybe this is a sign of a shorter timeline. Perhaps Sansa will birth a Bolton. Horrifying. More baby drama at number 6, we have Cersei's baby will kill her. Cersei doesn't have a lot of luck when it comes to her children. I mean, they are all dead. Joffrey and Marcella were poisoned, Tommen killed himself, and now, well, it seems she is heavily suggesting that she's pregnant with another of Jaime's children. The thing is though, this actually seems to work against the prophecy. Cersei spent her whole life thinking her little brother Tyrion will kill her because she was told that he would. In a roundabout way, anyway. When Cersei was young, she was told that she would marry a king. She did. She was told that the king would have 20 children and that she would have 3. She did. The seer said gold their crowns and gold their shrouds, meaning that they would all die. And they did. What else did the prophecy say? "And when your tears have drowned you, the Valonqur shall wrap his hands around your pale white throat and choke the life from you." Now it seems that Valonqur means little brother in Valyrian, and we know that she was born before her twin Jaime, so perhaps the little brother that she's thinking of isn't Tyrion, maybe it's Jaime. Maybe his baby inside her will be the thing that kills her, which is some kind of strange poetic justice. She's now an older mother and the birth could be pretty risky, although others think it could be someone else that murders her entirely. Who will murder Cersei? Good question. More Cersei drama up next at number 5, we have the White Mountains and the Ice Elephants. So Cersei seems to have a little dead army of her very own. Daenerys may have dragons, the Night King may have a massive crowd of skeletal groupies, plus an ice dragon, but Cersei has somehow got a horde of zombies. So the theory goes that when the White Army reaches King's Landing, those big old zombies she has will become big old White Walkers. Remember when she expressed her fondness for elephants too? Well, say Euron brings one to his queen, will the Night King kill them and then turn them into big old white walking elephants? Questions, questions. Speaking of gross old Euron Greyjoy, coming into number 4 we have Euron has a Dragonbinder horn. So in the books there is a mythical item that can control dragons called the Dragonbinder horn. The Dragonbinder horn is also called the Hell horn, so it doesn't really sound like too much fun. It's said to be 6 feet long, banded with gold and Valyrian steel, and it can control dragons. Hello. In A Feast for Crows, the book, Euron does indeed come across the Dragonbinder horn. Now, if this does happen in the TV show, then Euron has a tool that can control dragons. He could use it to aid Cersei's army and steal Daenerys' dragons. But there may be an awful twist. In the books, Euron has a man called Cragorn blow the horn. Now, it says that it sounds like the screaming of 1,000 souls and it makes people feel as if their bones are on fire. Cragorn dropped dead after blowing the horn, and when a maester cut him open to examine him after death, his lungs were charred and black. What is this weapon and who will be able to blow it and survive? What if the Ice King gets hold of it? Will this be the prophesized Horn of Winter? Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Although, speaking of weird horns, I have to say that I've seen a lot of drinks horns on buns, and I'm kinda here for them. I only want to watch Game of Thrones with a drinks horn from now on. It's very medieval. Okay, this is a funny but I guess kinda scary one, just to add a little breath of humor into this scary list. Coming into number 3, they're all tiny. Why are the seasons so long in Game of Thrones? Is it because the characters are tiny, like bigger than ant size, but like borrower size? This would make the seasons seem a lot longer. What if all of them, the whole procession, the whole war, the thrones, they're smaller than doll size? What if they're all tiny and then humans discover them and just like stamp on them. I mean, that would make the whole first of her name, Queen of the Andals, Ryanar and the First Men, Queen of Marine, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, Protector of the Realm, Lady Regent of the Seven Kingdoms, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, that whole thing. It would sound pretty ridiculous if, you know, a quick stamp on the head and she was done. Tiny Queen Daenerys. Okay. It's ridiculous though, so let's get back on track, shall we? Coming in at number 2, the Night King has green sight. This seems to actually be pretty likely. Bran, Mr. Three-Eyed Raven, seems to have green sight, the ability to see the past and future. It was a talent first noted by the Green Seers of the Children of the Forest. Bran is also a warg, which means he can enter somebody else's body. Now, these skills may not be applied just to Bran. It seems possible that the Night King has green sight too, and can see what his enemies are up to. Now this would explain how cool and calm the Night King was upon seeing a dragon. His expert execution of Viserion was, I guess, a bit all too good. And did anyone note the fact that he had big old chains at the ready to drag the dragon's body out of the water? Did he know they were coming? Did he know what to do? If the Night King does have green sight, he will see what his enemies have planned for him and be able to deal with it. Others say that Bran is the Night King, which may be true, but how they got there, well, that's sketchy. Okay, finally coming into number 1, Daenerys will kill Jon Snow. Oh, please no. Jon Snow's real lineage has put quite the spanner in the works for Queen Daenerys' bid for the throne. Daenerys thought that she was the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, but it seems that her brother's son, her incestuous lover Jon Snow, does actually overthrow her claim. While the incest would be a little troubling for the pair, but not too troubling as it's pretty prevalent across the Seven Kingdoms, Jon unbending that knee will be an issue. Daenerys has bent the knee to absolutely nobody. Will she do it for the rightful king of the Seven Kingdoms? Daenerys has spent her life telling people that she isn't her father, the Mad King, but it seems that some people think that actually she's going mad and she will become the Mad Queen. She already burned Sam Tarly's father and brother mercilessly. She has shown that she can be cruel. Does Daenerys want the throne because it's rightfully hers, or does she want it because she's had a taste of power? I think it's all about to be revealed, and oh my god, I'm so excited! Guys, that was the top 10 scary Game of Thrones theories. Thank you once again to our amazing video sponsor Buns. I'm going to be watching a few episodes at community parties in my city, but maybe I'll do a spot of trading while I'm there too. If you guys want to do some trading yourself, then download Buns to trade in your area with our download code in the description box. Use me as your referral at Rebecca Felgate, no spaces. Alright. That was intense. I'm very excited, but one more thing I have to say, because we care a lot about the community, we are turning to our own top 10 community now. I want to read some comments from a recent video I did, The Scary Notre Dame Urban Legends. Cecilia C said, "I love your dress, Rebecca. I'm so happy that the cathedral is still standing and will continue to stand. Vive la France!" Vive la France indeed, I'm happy too, and I hope that they can restore it very quickly. Jacqueline Nick said, "I've been to Pompeii, it was amazing. I feel like something might be being covered up by the media because a lot of churches have been damaged in France this year. A conspiracy theory." Ian War said, "Hi Rebecca, I love your channel. I've never been to Paris, but I did visit a 750-year-old abandoned monastery in Greece. Very spooky and eerie, but also very interesting. Keep up the great work." Ooh, I love it. I love old and spooky things, and Game of Thrones is old and spooky, so yay, and our video sponsor is young and not spooky, so download it once again. Good! Queen of the Segways. Daenerys, I'm coming for your titles. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. If you like this video, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, check out the other links in our description box to our most amazing Instagrams, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!